Welcome to the match preview for Rotherham versus Leicester in the Championship. Sam, it's another game. It should be another win, if I'm totally honest. Out of all the games we've played this season, in my opinion, everyone knows what I've been talking about. It's not been the best of performances, but we've been winning games, and I think you've got to go into this game again.
You're going to get more stick if you keep talking like that.
Well, you've got to come into this game and expect to win.
I know where you've been coming from in your thoughts. The wins haven't been pretty, but the key words in the sentence, we've been winning. The matches haven't been amazing, but we've won, so you can't really complain. I think it's one of those, we play, for me, it doesn't matter how well we play as long as we get the win. But Rotherham, really, we talked about this earlier, our club standards compared to Rotherham, it shouldn't just be a win. We should thump them. We really should. They're probably, out of the four teams in the European Championship games, they're probably the easiest one out of the lot. I couldn't name one player in the team. And if I'm being honest with you, for me, we just need to be a bit more collective and calm in the way we play football and not let them counter-attack us as much, because I feel like that's where the big threats lie. And I think that just comes from most clubs. If Rotherham had any sense in the match, they would just counter-attack us.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like I said, not been the best performances, but we've won games. We're basically top of the league, but we're not obviously top on points. So we just got to make sure we go into this game. We do win, because, like you say, I don't know any of their players. I don't think many people do, and that is the problem. So hopefully we've got the quality to be too good for them. We'll get into a bit of the team now, because we need to know. We stand with it. Obviously, keepers, I think Hermanson does drop straight back into that team.
Bought him, haven't we? Bought him for a reason. Daka and that are not going to have... Did I say Daka? I'm losing my head.
No, Hermanson.
Ward and Iverson, are not going to get into the team ahead of Hermanson. So, again, Hermanson in the team.
Yeah, back 3/back 4. Obviously, Doyle plays in that left-back role, and then obviously goes into the left centre-back when we do move forward into the attack. Vestergaard, I think he just still slots into that team. I think he's done well the last couple of games. And then on the right, you probably would say Fies, wouldn't you?
I think you're going to see a very similar team. Obviously, we've just done a transfer news about Yunus Akgun coming to Leicester City, a new right winger. So depending on how quickly he signs, I don't know if we'll see him feature. Tomorrow, I don't think he'd start, but he might come on off the bench if he's quick enough. I don't even know if he will, because he did just play pretty much a full game yesterday for Galatasaray.
But wouldn't you say that maybe helps us out? Because if he's been playing football, hopefully he comes in.
Maybe, but you don't want him to come in and get injured straight away. I think we're going to see a very similar... I think Marcel's done himself enough to stay in the team, at least for the Rotherham game, to see what he can do. I think the only change you're going to see is that second central attacking midfielder spot be replaced with Cassidy. Instead of Wolf or Pratt. I don't know where they're going to slot into. I do think you're going to see Cassidy and pretty much the exact same team. Winks, Dewsbury Hall, Mavididi, Iheanacho up top, and just Cassidy slotting in to the side.
Yeah. Again, Winks, good performance last week. He probably deserves to be in the team majority of the season.
You can tell his quality. Yeah. You can tell he's been playing at a Premier League side for his whole career, and as soon as it's brave of him to drop down, because I think if you ask me, if he was looking at his options, he could have moved to a Bournemouth or a Sheffield United, a team that have just come up, or on the verge of bottom 6, bottom 8 kind of style. But he's took quite a big leap. He's trusting the process of Leicester City, and he's probably been offered quite a decent package. I can imagine him and Cody and all the future signings that come to the club are probably offered a big bonus if they can help us get promoted back to the Premier League. So Winks has definitely been a standout player. I gave him man of the match against Cardiff, and I just think I don't see him doing anything wrong. He's the person that Tielemans wasn't last season. And I know it's different levels of quality because we're in the Championship, but it is what we lacked in last year, and it's nice to see someone like Winks who actually cares about playing football and wants to try as best as he can.
Yeah, I completely agree. Ross does say here they do counter-attack, got the source from, I'm guessing, a Rotherham fan. So it all depends on how we set up, because, again, if we're being patient, we're being possession-based football like we have the last 3 games. You just don't want to get caught out.
Rotherham's quality, we shouldn't. Where did they finish last season in the Championship? We'll put that up now whilst we keep talking. I don't think they did very well last season overall. And if I'm being honest with you, that this season they're having a bit of a bad start. The way we've been playing, we just shouldn't lose to them. We've beat Coventry harder. We beat Huddersfield, which is probably hard. I mean, Rotherham, we got ahead 19th in the league, 3rd from the bottom 3, so 6th bottom is where they finished, joint 20th, in fact, on points with QPR. Mm-hmm. So again, they're just like Ross says his latest comment. Their focus is just staying up, and the way we've played, they're probably thinking it's Leicester. You know, if we can just
aim for a point,
if they not even a point, if they could just not get thrashed, if you ask me, is what they should be thinking. I think personally we should go out there, and I think it's a great opportunity for us to get some goals in and start to put some more in the net and be a bit more confident up top, and hopefully with the likes of Cassidy coming in, that we can have a bit more of a creative spark in the final third.
Yeah, I completely agree. Richard says here, Sat all about Leicester. We have better players. It's all about the attitude of the players, and I'll say that every week. Again, it is. We have got the better players. We should be winning every week, and I think we even said to Phil earlier that we literally had the best team in the Championship for the last 20 years.
You could probably argue ever since the Championship started, with the money, the wages, and you got to remember the team we had last season was pushing for top 8, really, not for a relegation scrap. It wasn't. The focus of last year wasn't to avoid relegation; it was to stay in the Premier League and fight for a European spot again. And that obviously went all out the window. And I know we have lost our top quality in Maddison and Barnes, and a few of us that are probably going to go, and some of the others that have gone out, the contract out. But we've still got the likes of Vardy, and I know maybe he's a bit past it, but he's a Premier League winner, a Golden Boot winner. He's a massive threat. Could you imagine him on the bench where we're 0-0, 30 minutes to go, Rotherham exhausted, and they say, Jesus Christ, here comes Jamie Vardy, Premier League Golden Boot winner last half an hour. It shows the levels that we shouldn't have got relegated. On paper, our team was too good, but we are here now, and we do need to put the shifts in really. And if we want to get back up, we have to beat Rotherham away. It starts with having to beat every team, because like I said, it's a massive season, because we saw the champions of the last few years, they get 80, 90 points, and that's what the standard you need to come straight back up. The playoffs are even 60, 70 points, and 60, 70 points in a season is tough to get when you lose to games like Rotherham. So for me, we have to go out there and beat them, just like we did against Huddersfield and Cardiff and Coventry. Yeah,
completely agree. And I was just thinking now, obviously, we're not going to win every game. As much as I want to, and we probably could, I don't think we will. But in my eyes, I think if you play both teams home and away, as long as you beat them once either side, then you always have the confidence to say, you've already beaten once, you can do it again. And that's the thing. It's like Coventry now. Yes, you beat them at home, and it's going to be a lot harder away. But you said we've beaten once, you can do it again. This is what the mentality should be this season, where you should be beating most teams. Yes, you might draw late on because they score a late goal like Huddersfield nearly did against us. So it's difficult, but like I say, you've got to feel like a Man City fan, because we have got the best team in the league.
Well, I won't push it to Man City fan. I think
you should expect to be winning every game, though.
Again, it's not always down to the best team on paper, but we should be beating these teams. And again, if the goal is to come straight back up the season, which I think we all know it is, that is 100% the goal, is to come straight back up comfortably as well. I think, if you ask me, really, if we come up through playoffs or come up through top 2, I'd much rather come up through top 2. And I know the playoffs is exciting, but I think if you ask any Leicester fan, our quality should be top 2 and not playoffs this season. And like I said, it starts with beating teams like Rotherham. If we beat them, again, Ipswich almost lost, almost drew to QPR in the end of the weekend. So you'll probably see Ipswich are going to have an all right season. But again, they've just come up from League One. They're not going to have the depth or the quality to maintain that all year. We saw QPR last year in the Championship. They had a really good start. And then they finished, like we just said, 20th in the league. But they were in the top 5 for the opening 10, 15 games. So anything can happen. We just need to keep consistent, and I think you'll see the depth that we have will keep us going and keep us consistent, and we just need to keep at it, really. But we'll look back at the end of the season, if we lose to teams like Rotherham and we don't get promoted and we say we should have beat Rotherham, or if we miss out on second place because we by a few points and we end up losing to teams like Rotherham, it's one of those where we have to win pretty much the majority of our games, but 80% of our games to get automatic promotion.
Yeah, I completely agree. Last of all, score prediction. I think yours going to be exact same as last weekend, but I'm going to be the same again and say it's not going to be an easy game as much as I want it to be. I'm going to say 3-1.
I think because we're away. I did say 4-0 last weekend, but that was due to being at home, and Cardiff had a bad season last year and they have had a bad start. Obviously, they were kept in it by that really good goal by Ramsey, but score prediction for me, I'm going to say 2-0 to us. I don't think we're going to go out there just yet and do thumping, but I think the biggest thing would be to see a nice clean sheet away again, like we did against Huddersfield, because the goals do add up at the end because of how tight the season can get. So I think the more goals we can not concede, the better for us. So I'd just like to see a clean sheet and a comfortable win, and not really give anything for Rotherham to pounce on, a bit like we did with Cardiff. We didn't really. Well, their goal was just immense. You can't do anything against it, but it did give them the confidence to go on and almost score and even draw or beat us that day. So for me, we need to control the game, get an early goal in the first half, and settle it down in the second half.
Yeah, I completely agree. Gav says 4-0, Richard says 2-0, and James also said 2-0. There you go, guys. That is the match preview. Match preview. Yeah. There you go, guys. We'll catch you all on the next show, which will probably be the watch along, and then Jamie's show on Sunday. So appreciate you all coming on, and we'll catch you all next time. See you in a bit.